lineups for tonight's clash for Louisiana Tech. Kenny Speedy Smith makes them go. He leads the country at nearly 8 assists per game. The reigning Conference USA Player of the Week had a dozen dimes in each of his last 2 contests, while UAB paced by Robert Brown, a team-high 16 the last time these teams met. But the Virginia Tech transfer missed it. Open to 3 with 9 seconds left, down 2. And Louisiana Tech held on to win by 3 in Ruston. Bulldogs have gone with the same lineup all year. UAB has made some major massaging to its starting lineup, but has largely used the same unit since conference play began, and we are underway here in Birmingham.
Now let's see how Nick Norton handles the pressure. Number 2, Nick Norton, hit 5 turnovers in the last game. It's going to be key to see if he can engineer their attack with that pressure defense of La Tech.
Only played 15 minutes, 4 turnovers and otherwise zeros in that contest. The leaning, hanging hit not there for Akeem Baxter. The loose ball squirts out of bounds. Last touch to the visiting Bulldogs. Joe DeRosa, our referee, along with Doug Sermons and Kelly Self. Joe DeRosa, the answer to a trivia question, one of 2 men in pinstripes to work both the NBA Finals and the NCAA Final Four. There he is handing off the entry. Elbow look. Silky smooth. Tosin Mahenti.
Much different start than when they had in Ruston. Good little free throw jump shot by Mahenti. That's his range. Good start for the Blazers.
Raheem Appleby. He has tremendous range, both from outside and in the air. Speedy Smith, more of a facilitator. Eric McCree. Nice job to come to the stop, but could not hit. Falling away. It's Mahenti. These Blazers 8-4 at home. They have not lost in league play here at Bartow Arena. 4-0.
Such a different team. I covered them early this year. They've made a commitment to defense. They're buying in, and it's changed their season.
They've also had some outstanding shooting days. Robert Brown drains that jumper. And one of the best in all of college basketball this year against Old Dominion. And they were blazing against Louisiana Tech last time around as the contact comes with Michael Kaiser cutting to the hoop.
See again, a little action there by Robert Brown posting up. It's really good, a little turn and face jump shot. That's good defense there by McCree, just better offense by Brown.
Robert Brown charged with the foul. The leading scorer for the Blazers has his first. Kaiser only a 56% free throw shooter. The career blocks king at Louisiana Tech.
It's going to be a tough battle for Kaiser tonight to neutralize Mahenti, Lee, and C.J. Washington coming in off the bench. Very key to see if UAB can utilize their physicality as this game wears on.
Also key to see how UAB deals with the patented pressure Louisiana Tech employs. Contact on McCree as he rubbed him along the sideline.
A little bit more pep in their step as opposed to last game. You can tell that Coach Haas says we got to have a better plan and get off to a better start because, again, if La Tech gets those steals, it ignites that break.
You saw the number that flashed above the score bug. 2 losses in league for the UAB Blazers, led by that man, Jared Haas, now in his 3rd campaign, the former Kansas star. The 2 losses came by 5 total points to Louisiana Tech on the road and at UTEP. They are the 2 top teams preseason in Conference USA.
The thing about UAB is they have the 3rd youngest team in the country. Great high-low action there from Mahenti to Lee. That is what La Tech's going to have to face all game long. They got to do a better job of putting pressure on the passer.
The sophomore to freshman, Speedy Smith. Not much of a shot taker normally, had that one pop free. Norton's getting knocked down by Appleby. Loose on the deck, Appleby on the run with some numbers.
That live ball. You're right, John. That's that live ball turnover we're talking about. Getting back, you can't defend it. Again, that's what Norton did the first time around. He's got to be confident with the ball.
Here's Norton, who can shoot. He has lit up many foes this year from distance.
That's where you have that dilemma. Do you put him off the ball and let Des Wells come in, or let Des Watts come in, or let Hakeem Baxter handle the ball and put Norton off the ball so he can utilize his jump shot?
The student section, known as the Inferno for the Blazers, went bananas wanting a goaltend. Bluebirds come out in Bartow. Lurking in the corner. Not there for Xavier Stapleton. He is the top bench performer for Louisiana Tech.
Shooting about 27% from three. They'll take that all day long. As long as Hamilton and Appleby is not shooting, it favors UAB. They got to get their stars into the game.
Running effort into the double, and contact comes, going right at the shot blocker in Kaiser.
So here's that live ball action. You see Norton coming down. La Tech, they got hands in the passing lane. They're long and lean athletes, and they're very scrappy. He's got to make a commitment to go to the rim to make a play or make a shot. But anytime you're driving and you're not looking at the rim, they got their eyes on you, and they're going to steal the ball.
This time, though, the foul did not go on the shot blocker in Michael Kaiser. PA announcer says they changed it to Xavier Stapleton. He was the help defender there. It's a big difference. Kaiser, a man with 328 career blocks. The head man for Louisiana Tech, Mike White, now in his fourth campaign, only 37 years old. When he started with Louisiana Tech, first 25 games and 11-14 records. Since then, 80-22. I
mean, he's just done an amazing job. A young coach who's certainly trending right now. He has his 2 straight championships. And he's done a marvelous job. I mean, love to see his team, especially with Speedy Smith as a senior, get in the NCAA tournament. But obviously we know with La Tech and their RPI, they have to win CSA tournament to have a chance. But they've been doing great in this league thus far.
Stapleton swatted away by multiple Blazers. Those championships came in regular seasons. That's why there haven't been dance journeys. Bit of a dance on the end line for Norton. And Louisiana Tech has the deep entry.
See, that's the kind of stuff they cannot do. I mean, that's just a lack of attention to detail to throw the ball away like that. And again, Norton's involved in that. He's got to get his confidence, as I said before. He's got to engineer an attack for his team, because if he can stay in the game and make shots, he gives his team a lift.
Bulldogs have missed on 5 of their first 6. There's a make. Kaiser stretching it out of it.
That's always a good sign. Kaiser, who's not accustomed to getting a lot of touches, if he's making that shot, that favors the team in blue.
1-point contest early. Norton picked it up in a bad spot, but he finds a man down low, and Kaiser swept over for the rejection, but a foul as he bopped William Lee.
I mean, he did pick it up, but he was very tough there. Didn't give it up, fought through. La Tech, if I'm them, you got to get your hands up. If 2 guys are trapping the ball, you cannot allow a pass cross court like that. And obviously, Kaiser's coming over to get the block. If they get Kaiser out of the game and get him in foul trouble, it significantly changes their press because they don't have a rim protector in back.
William Lee, a pretty big get recruiting-wise for UAB, one of the most highly recruited UAB players in recent time. The Gatorade Player of the Year in Alabama. Alabama's Mr. Basketball as well, as Merle Holden subs in.
Got to give Coach Haas credit on the recruiting trail. I know another guy in Alabama usually gets big-time recruits, but for UAB to get the Player of the Year in Alabama, what does that say about Jared Haas and what he's doing with this program? And incidentally, they've turned it around. They've turned it around. I told him earlier, Coach, don't worry. They're puppies. They will turn it around. You have talent. And when you have talent and you have a coach like him, things can change quickly.
4-9 in non-conference, played 4 ranked teams in that time as well. Appleby, what a give to Holden. Pang and can't hit. The ball won down low by Hakeem Baxter.
They have 2 fly swatters inside. Holden just got to go straight up and dunk the ball. When you have shot blockers in there, you can't give them space.
UAB 3 of 5 early from the field. What a seal. Lee couldn't hit it, but Mahenti storms in and throws it down with 2 hands.
There was a lob pass over the top. The weak side help had to come and help. He missed it. No one there to box out Mahenti. Again, dominating the paint is a huge key for UAB because La Tech is thin inside.
Bulldogs got off to a slow start last time out against Marshall. The 9-point deficit early, the biggest they had all year. And there's an offensive foul on the Bulldogs' top scorer, Alex Hamilton.
And my family personally, being a part of something greater than yourself, that's what college sports in general is all about, but particularly college sports. And kudos, and I take my hat off to Coach Haas for bringing that to this program and to this city.
He's also brought a winning team in league play, entered in 3rd place, 7-2. Louisiana Tech sharing the catbird seat with Western Kentucky At 8-1, we are at the exact halfway point of the conference season, 9 games in.
See, La Tech's going to switch every screen. As soon as two guys come together, they're going to exchange men. They're going to be in a passing lane, just like Hamilton was there. Another live ball turn.
Hamilton slammed on the brakes. He knew Mahinti was in the air. That's foul number 1 on Tosin Mahinti.
You can't play east-west against La Tech. You have to play north-south. You get everything going to the rim. In the passing lanes. As soon as a big guy gets, they're going to be all over. That's the coach's nightmare when a big guy has to make a pass to the perimeter, an entry pass in defense. They're taught to get all over those guys on the wing and force them to make a pin. I mean, there's a perfect pass.
Foul before the entry on William Lee, top rebounder for UAB, charged with his first. The last time these teams met, the post-to-post passing was a positive for UAB.
It was a positive. I mean, that's what they're going to hurt them. They're going to hurt them in their high-low offense and dominating the paint. But again, great move there by Raheem. Just a gifted score. La Tech's going to have to fight them on the passes. They got to get their hands up and make those entries tougher from that high post area.
Devastates the rim.
Oh my goodness.
Appleby response. Two-handed flush. Raheem Appleby had perhaps the dunk of the year last week against Western Kentucky. He doesn't want to be shown up.
See, La Tech's got to be careful. This is the pace. I'm sorry, UAB's got to be careful. This is the pace that La Tech wants. How about those two sequences? A hammer and a chin-up, back to back.
And a line change ready for UAB at the table. 3 young men have gone, waiting to check in.
So no one's came out my secret, yeah?
Norton can rain it from distance.
But what they need from him, they need him to be tough with the ball, make great passes, and make open jump shots. If he can do that, they'll be lethal tonight because they shoot well in this building.
How does the pace get ratcheted up so dramatically, so quickly?
I mean, that's what La Tech wants to do. They come after you on defense. They force you to shoot the basketball. And then when they score, they're going to get up in and say, I dare you. You know, and that usually works better when they have the rim protector Kaiser back there, but he's out of the game. But that's not going to stop those guards from getting that pass in.
Pulling up, Baxter. Oh, my! That might have hit the roof of Bartow Arena. The rainbow.
I mean, that was a jump shot teardrop. You see one of those coming. Oh, man, this game is an offensive display.
The ambidextrous Alex Hamilton dialing it up from downtown. 2 of the top 3 teams in Conference USA letting it all hang out.
I mean, they're playing good. We got a good seat right now. This game is, I mean, it's on fire right now. Both teams got to see a little bit more defense by both teams. See, La Tech switching the screens. They don't switch there. They switch the screens. So the offense can't have an advantage when they're trying to run their plays and their cuts.
McCree can be a liability at times defensively. He's matched up down low with Lee. 4 to shoot. Brown stepping back. Sinking! That's a 3-ball.
Can't ask for a better situation for that if you're La Tech. You switch the screen, you got a bigger guy on right around. He doesn't take him to the rim. He shoots a jump shot. He just makes it. Again, good defense, great offense.
Offensive foul. Eric McCree picks up his second. The rim violated. William Lee. From the field, Eric McCree picked up his second personal foul that brought him out the timeout of the floor. He had a career-high 26 the last time these teams met, including a crucial free throw in the last minute.
And I don't know a lot of things, but shooting 70%, I think it gives you an excellent chance to win the game.
Got to hold on to the basketball, though. Here come the Bulldogs.
And that's picking the drill for that coffin corner at the top of half court. That's the second time they've done it. They got away with it with Nick Norton a minute ago. There cost them. Got to keep the ball on the lower floor. You got to attack.
Very hesitant shot by Alex Hamilton. Michael Kaiser, who has a foul, jogs to the table, the shot blocker.
You're shooting 70%. You're only up 6. Somewhat deflated. La Tech relies on turnovers to beat their opponents. There's Robert Brown there with a nice jump shot. Great play. They were walking through that in their walkthrough today. He's really good at that mid-range game.
Timeout, Louisiana.
it would really help the season. And the one thing he's helping with more than anything else is his leadership.
Also helped the Blazers to their largest lead, up 8. Last time out, the Bulldogs faced their biggest home deficit of the year at 9. On the road tonight, the lead slashed on that J by Stapleton.
Little ball screen action.
Knocked down. Jacoby Boykins pulling up. Very flat. The whistle came a little late.
And again, just costly turnovers. Now you give up a 3 to a 3-point shooter who had not proven that he can make shots as a freshman, and no pass fake. Just throw it right into their hands. There's a lot of long, lean athletes out there for La Tech, and that's what they do. They want deflections. They're getting the passing lanes. You got to make pass fakes.
60% free throw shooter. Boykins doesn't get to the stripe much. He's more of an outside threat.
And they got 2 good-looking freshmen, Stapleton, Boykins. I mean, that's the future of La Tech basketball. They do a great job of recruiting those long, lean guys that can really play offense.
Mike White made a number of discoveries from year 1 with his recruiting classes. Now in year number 4, his Bulldogs entered sharing first place in the league. Aggressive take to the rim, the extra tip down low.
What you got to do, like Madison did, you got to attack him. That was a bit of a circus shot, but because the defense had to help, there was no one to box out on the backside for the putback.
Yeah, putback came from Chris Coakley, young man that you love, Chris Walker.
You're right about that. That's my guy, right? Not because his name is Chris, but he's a beast. He's an absolute beast. I love that freshman.
3 of the top 5 scorers on this UAB team in conference play, freshmen. 3rd youngest team in America.
Look how they extend the defense, taking chances. Then there it is again, playing the passing lane. You can't be passive against La Tech.
Boykins on the follow got hit. What a job by Hamilton to shield, but it looked like he had some contact down low, too.
He did, and let's talk about what happened, why the turnovers happened. The guards are pressing up on the wings. That's why the high-low action was great the first game. When the bigs get in the middle of the floor, the other big has to sit in the arc and throw it down low. You have to kill them inside with high-low passes when they're pressing up on the perimeter like that.
7 turnovers now for UAB. That foul to Robert Brown. The Blazers' top scorer has 2. Free throw good. Saturday, 10 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. The steel gates fly open for the most unpredictable 8 seconds in sports. Don't miss the PBR Built for Tough Series Anaheim Invitational Saturday at 10 right here on CBS Sports Network. Boykins converts. Robert Brown getting looked at. Not only has those 2 fouls, but getting tended to by the athletic trainer as well.
They're going to push that pressure up all day long. Think about it. Shooting, we talked about the break, 72% shooting by UAB. They're only up 3. Again, La Tech double-digit points off turnover. That is what they do. You can't pick your trouble. So again, they pick it up again in that corner. They got to make them pay.
Baxter hit in the act. A chance to snap Louisiana Tech's 7 unanswered run.
UAB has some physical guards. When you're getting pressed by a team that loves to come after you, you have to punish them with back doors. You got to punish them with your size, and you can't pick the dribble up in places like the corners. We talk about the corner and half court. Again, you're talking about the half court line being a defender. You're talking about the sideline being a defender, and then you're getting trapped. You're in no man's land.
And keep in mind that usual point guard Nick Norton sits on the bench. That's where he sat quite a bit the first time they played. What's the difference with UAB with Denzel Watts running point as opposed to Norton?
I mean, he's just more physical. They don't go after him as much. But again, they went after him last time. But he can make a play and get into the lane and create for his teammates.
Louisiana Tech trying to create. Oh, my! What a slap near the rim. And Chris Coakley might have aided Davon Griffin's efforts.
Again, UAB's got to tighten up the defense. They're just picking up the dribble again. Doing a good job of throwing the ball across court, but I like to see the receivers come and meet the basketball.
Baxter. Oh, my. The miscommunication building. It's a systematic breakdown that Louisiana Tech invades the mind of the opponent.
They certainly do, but again, you talk about one of the coach's biggest nightmares for coaches is a big trying to make an entry pass from the top of the key to the wing when there's pressure. Now, you can relieve it by throwing a back door, but to me, the smartest thing to do is to throw a high-low pass because there will be no help on the offensive player inside. Just dump it down low, let him go one-on-one.
And isn't that exactly what they did 3 weeks ago?
Exactly. So we'll see as the game unfolds. Coach Haskins, he knows what he's doing. So we'll see as the game unfolds if they go back to it.
Stapleton forcing it a bit. And that pops loose.
That's a tough shot there. He's a good player. Going to have a bright future, but that was a little quick. You fought back. UAB shot the ball great. You fought back. Get a good shot. Move the ball around.
Blazers have made 7 of their last 8 from the field, but 8 giveaways early on, many in recent possessions.
And they're just pounding the ball. We always call that in the hook. We call that they're just beating the ball into the ground. Again, that's happening. And look at the shot that they forced them to take. That's not what Coach Hash wants. But that pressure defense, that's what it forces you to do.
Xavier Stapleton tripped up. We've got a timeout on the floor. It was a 3-point finish when these teams met in Ruston. A 3-point difference.
They're the more experienced team. The Blazers, this is new territory for them. The 3rd youngest team in the country. Wow, look at that play right there. Just falling asleep. Special teams play. That's what out-of-bounds plays are in basketball. They're like special teams in football, just falling asleep. The guy that's guarding the ball is 5-on-4, should never allow that to happen. You should stay in the lane and force him to throw it out to the corner or throw it out to half court.
Blazers still going with Watts at point. He's lying in wait left corner. Coakley facing up. Coakley missed against Kaiser as the rebound.
Kaiser's so hard to score against. If he doesn't swat, just go straight up with verticality. And there it is. That's that silky, smooth score. Raheem Appleby, they're starting to cook up a little bit. UAB's got to be careful. And there's another turnover, John. Just, again, not being careful. Just not being confident with the ball.
This is Louisiana Tech's first lead of the game. Up 2 with the ball.
You got to move the ball quickly. You got to move it from one side of the floor to the other, and you got to attack. Advancing with the pass, advancing with the dribble, and you just got to be tough.
Kaiser pushing off, falling away. No. And UAB had last touch on that end line look. The crowd has come to its collective feet disagreeing, and it overruled. UAB has it.
There's again just a tough shot by Kaiser. That's not his game. Little incidental. I thought there was a little incidental contact there by Stapleton, but a good call by the refs. But that's why they're the professionals, John.
Stapleton with his 2nd foul. And it is bonus time. Hakeem Baxter, a great free throw shooter. 5th in the league at 80%. He's a first-year transfer from Maryland Eastern Shore. Normally, you'd have to sit out a year. They put in a waiver. The reasoning behind it has not been made public, but the NCAA granted it.
That happens pretty frequently now. You'll see a lot of kids transferring all over the country. Working out really well for UAB, I might add, because he's been a welcome addition. Incidentally, Coach White was not happy. Think about it. He went from the ball being out of bounds to a foul. He was not happy about that, and I don't blame him. It's one thing to change a call. It's another thing to make it a foul.
Bulldogs still maintaining the edge. Catch and shoot. And a very late whistle. Stapleton in the act.
I mean, just not a smart foul by William Lee. Just not a smart foul. You have a very, very, very below average 3-point shooter. Stapleton shooting from the corner, and you foul a jump shooter. Just drives coaches nuts. Go straight up. He's not a great shooter, and force him to make a shot. 2nd
foul on William Lee. So the team's top rebounder has 2. The top scorer, Robert Brown, has been on the bench with 2. And a young man in the active at 3 who had made 1 in 18 tries on the season gets 3 freebies at the line. There's Robert Brown, warm up on. UAB is sub Tosin Mahenti back into the contest while William Lee is taking a seat. UAB's also gone to a 2-point guard look. Watts and Norton both on the floor at the same time.
Yeah, really, I think the thought in mind is to get Watts to handle the ball and use number 2 Norton as a shooter.
Athletic look. Copley could not put it in. Speedy Smith, a dangerous give, threads it to Appleby, and his rush shot fell short.
Look, I don't mind that shot by Watts because that is exactly what they have to do. They have to attack.
What a move by Speedy Smith. The no-look caught Kaiser off balance. He bobbled the ball. He didn't expect that pass.
I mean, that's why he's one of the best in the country at dropping dimes. He has eyes behind his head. Great play there.
Ankles broke at one end. Travel on the inline drive at the other.
Here it is in the middle of the lane. Great assist. Eyes always open. Little no-look pass to Kaiser right where he can catch it. One of those Tom Brady-like passes. All you got to do is catch it and run with it, you know? I hate saying that because you know my team. I hate saying it. You know my team. I won't say it, but you know my team.
10 giveaways for UAB. Turnover margin, Louisiana Tech outstanding on the season. Last time these teams met, UAB owned most statistical categories, but turned it over 20 times and lost by 3.
And again, history is repeating itself right now. They started off really well, just costly turnovers, and a lot of them unforced.
Watts leaning, shielding. Out of the corner, Baxter. A lid on the cup there.
But that's the shot you're going to get because they're going to deny all of the wings. They're going to deny the ball back to the top of the key, and you got to drive into the lane, either make a play or kick the shooters.
Kedar Davis getting some minutes. He had missed the last 5 games with an injury. And now he goes to the stripe as Chris Copley slapped with his first foul.
I mean, La Tech just has 3 really good guards in Smith, Hamilton, and Appleby. And in the NCAA, when you have 3 really good guards that can score and that can make plays, you can do some damage.
Only a 56% free throw shooter. Davis hits it. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Dana Jacobson, Seth Davis, Doug Gottlieb get you caught up on all of tonight's action in college basketball. That upset, Holy Cross taking down Colgate earlier tonight. Cincinnati visiting number 23 SMU. UCLA, Stanford, a lot of great games tonight. And also on the women's side, undefeated South Carolina playing at a good Georgia team. Baxter. That snaps a nearly 5-minute drought without a made field goal for the Blazers.
That was a Broad Street bully move by Hakeem Baxter. Like he's back in the playgrounds in Philly. Great move there. Wow. Hamilton with the foul. Kaiser going straight up and not fouling him. A great presence of mind. Keep your eyes on the rim. Some for young players to see. Keep your eyes on the rim. Banked it off the glass. But that's what La Tech wants to do. If you want to beat them, you're going to have to go at them because they're not going to stop what they're doing. So they're going to have to be more plays like that, or when you get in a lane and drive and kick or drive and finish.
Sub for UAB, Copley out. C.J. Washington, the preseason all-conference performer who comes off the bench these days, subs in. Now that foul went on Hamilton is his second. So Hamilton, McCree, Stapleton, all have 3 for Louisiana Tech. Brown and Lee each have 2 for UAB. They're big players. Norton slipping past Smith, going at Holden. And the late whistle.
Again, that's what they force you to do. Norton, I really like that aggressiveness. I think that's what he has to do. Now, poor decision to foul him, go straight up and force him to make that shot. But again, let's give props to Norton for being tough and having presence of mind to go straight to the rim.
Merle Holden's first. Norton, an 88% free throw shooter. Just about automatic. He's the son of the women's basketball coach, Randy Norton. Only 5'10". You can see the obvious physical differences, and yet he's a great outside shooter. The team's primary point man, 3rd in Conference USA in assists.
That's why I say the future of UAB is bright. Chris Copley and Nick Norton were back-to-back rookies of the week in Conference USA. as the team is starting to play well, as the young guys play well, the team has got to be a little bit better. And there's our guy, Raheem Apple. He's just so gifted at scoring. I mean, he's a slim, lean guy. He just snakes through the defense and just makes plays.
Baxter, other end, miscommunication. That one pinballed out of bounds. That Appleby shot, what's the degree of difficulty on it?
Let's say out of 1 to 10, let's say like a 9.5.
In the air, moving laterally, off glass at a tight angle?
Trust me, he practices that all the time, believe me. These guys come to the gym, they do all that kind of stuff.
He does a lot with that huge physique, 6'9", listed at 213. I think he's added some good LBs.
I mean, he is a great-looking prospect, but the one thing that they need to take advantage of, and they did there, is when La Tech switches the screen, to go right back and throw it inside and take advantage of the mismatches.
Appleby falling away. Brown's got it, playing with 2 fouls. Norton watches Watts off the end-line run.
Man, you got to talk about the job that Coach Hass has done. I remember seeing him early in the year. He didn't know what was going to happen. I said, Coach got a bunch of young guys. Just let him get settled. C.J. Washington goes to the bench, has a great attitude, and the season has turned.
Over the back, a little overzealous. A timeout on the floor. A 1-point difference. Maybe the edge could come from what Conference USA. Under 6 to go in the second, 54-53. Keep it in mind, Louisiana Tech entered tonight tied with the Hilltoppers at Top Conference USA. UAB in third. Should those scores hold, we'd have a 3-way tie in Conference USA.
Well, Tony Benford, North Texas, has proven that he can get his team up for a big game. That would certainly be a really big win for his program.
Worth noting, the Bulldogs got a delay of game warning from our officiating crew coming out of that media timeout. Oh my, big swat.
But C.J. Washington, he had the mismatch, and he's going away from the rim. Take your time and go straight up. They can't stop you. And there's our guy, Hakeem Baxter.
Baxter leading the way for UAB. He's got a dozen. Davis trying to feed the in-rhythm backdoor cut. That timing off a jump ball. Arrow favors Louisiana Tech.
UAB, the more physical team. They block as many shots as La Tech blocks. But again, you got Hamilton on the bench, one of their scorers. Speedy Smith, a really good facilitator, but not a scorer.
Only averages 5 a game. Those numbers have actually gone up in recent days. Appleby, twisting catch and shoot. Norton got it and then gets the foul. That's a silly move on the weak side by big Michael Kaiser. So Kaiser with 2.
That's what you call playing hard but not playing smart. Let Norton have the rebound. If your team needs you in the game, just sprint back.
A frustrated Mike White sees a shot blocker with 2. His top scorer, Alex Hamilton, is 2. Eric McCree, who led the way with a career-high 26 the last times these teams met, he's been on the bench forever with 2. And Xavier Stapleton, the top bench option, has 2.
They're going to have to play through it. 4-point deficit right now. UAB has kind of turned it around a little bit. We saw that turnover package go. They looked like they were hapless, but now they're handling the pressure and they're attacking that defense.
The Blazers 12 of 13 at the line. They are the best free throw shooting team in Conference USA.
La Tech's got to get something going to the rim. You got to drive and kick and get open shots for Raheem Appleby.
Leo Edwards trying to post. He doesn't play a lot, and then he tosses it away. Raheem Appleby barking at his teammate in frustration.
Yeah, teammates trying to get him all. Raheem Appleby's got to settle down a little bit. Coach talked about his leadership style. Really good leader, but again, doesn't play much. Settle him down. He's coming in to give his team a lift. And by the way, he's looking to pass to you. That's a good thing.
Only the 3rd giveaway for the Bulldogs. Leo Edwards, though, hadn't played in 7 of the last 11 games. That's how deep the Bulldogs have had to go due to foul trouble.
Got to find different. When you're a champion, you find different ways to win games.
The help lingering in the lane. C.J. Washington.
It's always Coach White's biggest fear is paint points. He knows that his team is not physical. So they're going to have everybody's got to gang rebound and get in there. And again, it puts them at a deficit because, again, when they're driving, when they're pressing the way they are, people are out of position. But again, C.J. Washington just a force inside. They have no match for him right now.
13-2 UAB run. Edwards drop step. Who did not see that one coming?
Got shot blockers in the game. You got a shot fake. Get them in the air, go straight into their body, automatic foul every time. You can't give them space. Ball first, body second.
UAB, the champ that are ups. Appleby forcing that shot. And the one-handed claw, Washington's got it.
Tech's got settled down. They got to move the ball around a little bit more, a little bit too much one-on-one, and they're not getting second shots. They're actually making it easy for UAB to stop them right now.
Baxter behind the screen. Mahenti rips it away. Toshin Mahenti spent the first 16 years of his life in Nigeria. Came stateside for a basketball camp in 2011. Now he's part of a revitalized Blazer program. Washington on the team's third look. Mahenti on the fourth on the doorstep.
Wow, would have brought the house down if they could have made that. Tech getting close to the last shot, 2-second differential. Want to play to get to the rim or get a wide open shot off a ball screen or driving kick situation. No one-on-one right now.
Speedy Smith means so much to what's become a rudderless ship. Missing on 6 of 7 as the graphic just showed you. 5 to shoot. Appleby twisting. Oh, what a tough look falling away.
Wow.
The heave and the horn. Short as it grazes twine. The late bucket, a bit of a gasp for the Bulldogs. But the Duncan Dogs run by UAB as the have one loss that came a week ago in Ruston to Louisiana Tech. Should the Bulldogs fall tonight, Western Kentucky stands alone.
Yeah, Coach Harper's done a tremendous job. I tell you, North Texas, that's a tough place to play. Them to pull that win out is really, really, really good for the program. But again, it comes down to winning on the road.
Winning here has been difficult for Conference USA teams. Blazers 4-0 in this building in league play. Appleby went a team high 15 in the first half. Floated that one short. Bit of a redemptive first half for Appleby. They limited his touches, according to head coach Mike White, and his open looks in that initial clash when he only had 4 made shots, 1 from outside.
And again, he's got to settle himself down a bit. You know, not yelling at teammates, but again, just getting a little antsy and just make plays. La Tech is a really good program. They've had a lot of success. They're playing really well. And the pace of the Blazers is just, they're so comfortable out there right now. And that comes to being at home. And that's why they play it well offensively in this building.
Louisiana Tech using the 5 starters that have started every game all year. McCree only played 5 minutes due to foul concern in the first. He was a quick sub early. That's his first basket of the game. He went for a career-high 26 when these teams met 3 weeks ago.
And he's going right to work, and that shows you what he means. They're starting 5. This is a good team. Again, when you go into their reserves, not as good. They become a lot younger and a lot less efficient offensively.
Brown leaning, shielding, and missing. That's another difference between these teams. The Bulldogs had been so good in terms of bench production for years. That's dropped off, while the Blazers, after Robert Brown, who averages a team-high 13.5 per game, the next 7 all average between 8 and a little south of 6.
I mean, that's unbelievable. You credit that to coaching. The coach has and his philosophy of getting players to buy in, because that's not easy. That's not easy, but that's a culture.
Oh, my Mahenti. Slapping away McCree's look.
I mean, he's as much of a rim protector as Michael Kaiser is for La Tech. And again, you can't give him space. You got to drive to the rim. You got to jump stop. You got to shot fake, get him in the air, You got to go right under him and force the ref to blow the whistle. No way you can stop a guy who has that type of athletic ability by just throwing it up with that type of space.
Mahenti's got 4 of his team's 5 swats. McCree picked up by Speedy Smith, and he was hit immediately by Nick Norton. It's Norton's first.
A lot of Tech's got to get their body language. They got to change their body language. Got to get a little bit more excited about this game because UAB has come to play tonight.
Bulldogs have won 3 in a row, 9 of 10. Kaiser. McCree.
See why he had 26 the first game. This guy didn't play the whole first half. Much needed. Instant offense.
Murray State transfer coming through in a big way. Brown trying to weave through the double. 10-second violation. They could not cross.
Maybe this will get him started. Here he is, offensive rebounding, just taking his time. William Lee got to box out. You can't. Once you get caught under the rim, no matter how athletic you are, the ball's going to bounce over your head, especially with a guy who's as athletic as McCree as well.
Nice fake. Got Lee to hesitate.
Southpaw's in Fuego. He's like, I sat down long enough. It's time for me to go to work.
Young man's been in double figures in 6 of the last 7. Started out guns blazing this year. But slow down. Baxter, another transfer. Tapped out by Mahenti. Brown darts back door. He was going up for that right-handed slam. And Kaiser disrupts it. Picks up his 3rd foul of the process.
That's what you got to do. You have to attack them. I talk about north, south. Guys are flat-footed. You see number 0, Alex Hamilton, flat-footed. Kaiser on the other side of him. You got to be in the middle of the lane. You got to discourage the drive. Once you give an athlete like Robert Brown a lane like that, by and large, it's going to be a foul every single time if he can get to the rim.
In that case, if it's Kaiser, someone who's so important on the defensive end, are you better off allowing the 2 points at that point?
It depends on the coach's philosophy. You know, Coach White may say, I don't care about the foul. You make sure he doesn't double wrong. Or he may say, hey, we need you in the game.
He's going to be out of the game now after his 3rd foul. It's Joniah White's first minutes, the 7-foot freshman out of Duck Hill, Massachusetts. Averages a point a game. It's only the 17th game he's played. Kaiser, a mainstay, sits on the bench.
Opportunity. Number 5 in blue. It's one word. You got a chance. You got an opportunity to do something.
Hamilton forced that look a bit against Baxter, and you can see the frustration building on the bench and the 5 on the floor.
Yeah, they're pressing. They're pressing. I mean, it's 16:41 to go in the game. You're down 7. UAB has played decent. They've shot the ball great, but they haven't handled the pressure, you know, in a way that makes you think like, oh, they're going to kill La Tech.
Lee lost the handle. Mahenti trying to clean it up. And the young man in forces a jump ball. What a job by Joniah White.
I mean, did a great job there of getting the ball in the middle of the floor. William Lee attacking. When you got a big that can make a play like that, see, get right in the middle of the floor, just throw it up to the rim. That's the play Hakeem Baxter didn't make earlier. He threw a turnover. Throw it up like DeAndre Jordan from the Clippers and let him bring the hammer down, as you say, John.
End line drive. Nick Norton called for his second as he hit Hamilton. The whistles are picking up dramatically. The tone has been set. This is a veteran officiating crew that has worked many high-profile college games. In the case of Joe DeRosa, NBA Finals as well.
And but I'll tell you this, it favors UAB because they're the better three-point, they're one of the best three-point shooting teams free throw shooting teams in the league.
Appleby!
I mean, seriously, Raheem Appleby has been on hammer alert the last couple times we've seen him.
The Duncan Dogs are back. Shades of the Karl Malone days. He's got 17.
I mean, he is throwing it down with authority every opportunity he gets.
Speedy Smith with a foul. It's not tolerated. You cannot be that physical. Raheem Appleby can be physical with the cup. The first one since the cancellation of the football program that could have impact on UAB's status in Conference USA. Conference bylaw says you must play football. They could change that. They could make a special clause for UAB, but it also could mean the Blazers might need a new conference home in the next year or two.
Yeah, that may be true, but talking to Coach Hash yesterday, we talked about, Coach, if you don't have football, can you be Gonzaga? Can you be VCU? And coach is pretty confident that if there's a practice facility, if there's some chartered flights, there's an opportunity to make that leap. And that's so much tradition here at UAB with King Bartow. It can happen.
Speedy Smith. Foul in transition on Hakeem Baxter, his first.
Wow. Kelly Seltman, a very accomplished official there. Again, those sticky fingers getting in there. So good as a thief on defense.
Speedy Smith without a point tonight. Here's one.
When you talk about a guy who's leading the NCAA in assists, John, career steals leader in school history, accomplishments, he is so good at anticipating. If you ask me, can a kid like him make it to the NBA? And I'm saying, at the end of the day, a kid with a great attitude like him, who knows the game, high basketball IQ, plays as hard as he can, there's a shot.
Last year's Defensive Player of the Year in Conference USA. Under the radar recruit discovered by Mike White and Louisiana Tech.
Under the radar, the only scholarship he had was Lynn University. He can't be more under the radar.
Mahenti dipping under the defense, banking it home.
And Live Tech not playing with a lot of enthusiasm. You get the feeling they're not down 5, they're down 15. If there's the silky southpaw with a J, 3-point layup from the corner.
Alex Hamilton with 8. He's the top scorer on the season for the Bulldogs. Let me correct myself. Entered second tonight to Appleby. Appleby had just overtaken him in the last week. Nice move by C.J. Washington.
Great job there attacking the press, not just passing the ball around the perimeter and allowing them to deny you, go straight to the rim and make plays.
McCree somehow got wide open, and White point blank could not convert.
Young freshman, got to dunk that ball, you got to put it in the rim. Not a lot of minutes, not a lot of experience.
Norton behind the Mahenti screen. They're going 2-point guard here. Baxter. Reverse. Smith.
Again, you see La Tech switching. As soon as their screen set, they switch defenders, and you have to make a play.
A softer look as White puts that one in.
You know, you'll credit that basket. I know it's not an assist per se to Speedy Smith by getting to the rim, forcing the help, and allowing White to come and clean up with the putback. See, if I'm La Tech, I go into every ball screen with Speedy Smith and make him shoot threes. There's no way I allow him to work on ball screens to hurt the team.
Mahenti getting a taste of his own medicine from the young freshman, Janiah White. What a pass by Hamilton.
Great defense by White. We talk about opportunity. You never know when your number's going to be called.
Appleby got in the air, wasn't sure what to do with the ball. Henline out of bounds, last touch to the Blazers.
Good idea by Appleby. Tough for a big guy to handle a pass like that. Take your time, come off the ball screen for Appleby, and look to score the basketball. He gave him some good minutes. White gave him some good minutes just then.
Multiple subs for UAB. Tyler Madison's back. Denzel Watts back as well. So Watts and Norton both in to run point, while top scorer Robert Brown has gone to the bench.
UAB's got to be a little bit careful. La Tech's getting a little confidence.
McCree given space. Last few times down the floor, UAB has handled this pressure really well.
Yeah, they're attacking, going right to the rim.
That easy. Chris Copeland.
Just like I drew it up, John.
Smith. Oh, that was read so well. Pocket pick by Madison. Norton helps him out in the corner.
UAB has made an unbelievable change in their season because of defense. And that's scoring off of defense right there, making a play by Tyler Madison.
Mike White calls timeout. UAB up a pair.
But again, again, we talked to Coach Hatch yesterday. He talked about role definition. Talked to the assistant Robbie's assistant turnabout, and they talked about how that coming to Jesus type of talk with everybody, with the staff, with the program has changed their season. And they say, would you rather you win or would you rather we win? And they've made that commitment to be more of a team. It's changed their season.
Alex Hamilton, one and done. That turning point came after the losses at Chattanooga, at number 20 North Carolina. They decided to assign roles. Conference play began. They're 7-2 since. And they could forge a tie for second place with the Bulldogs should they win here tonight.
I just see UAB go inside, run a little bit more high-low offense, and see if they can punish the undersized Bulldogs.
Just that. Coakley twisting and sinking.
Well, you know I like him. That's my guy. Over that left shoulder, he's unstoppable. Has a bright future in this program. He's one of the reasons I think Coach has a big smile on his face. The freshman is very talented.
Appleby can't hit it. Washington played it off the shoulder of Kaiser, but stepped out of bounds in the process. And we have a timeout on the floor. The Magic City, Birmingham, Alabama. Some magic.
Not been pretty, but good. Credit UAB, their physicality. They're only giving them one shot. And they better make that shot, because that, again, that is what's been the difference in the season for the Blazers. They've done a great job putting that stingy, hard-hat defense on their opponents, especially in this house.
We're at Bartow Arena, named for the late, great Gene Bartow, the architect of UAB athletics. Hamilton absorbs some harm en route. Pinball's out of bounds. UAB basketball.
I mean, great look. Got a flat ball screen. Got him going right to the rim. See, just too much dipsy-do. Just go straight up. But again, because UAB is a really good shot blocking team, again, it alters shots. They hurry, and he missed. Point blank layup.
And something you said during the break, I think very sage words, you called it early. If the Bulldogs don't turn you over, they have a hard time scoring.
Look, I mean, that's what UAB has done. Is they've made them play in the half court. And again, unless they're scoring, they're making shots. You see Akeem Baxter with the Philly Broad Street Dazzle doing this thing. Usually only get them 7 points a game, right around 14. Great lift for his team today.
Team high 14. That's what he averaged when he led UMES in scoring just last year. Boykins, more of a catch-and-shoot man, fumbled the catch, and Baxter's got it.
And Coach White can't be happy. His team is just coming apart at the seams. But again, we talk about the body language of the team. Got to get themselves going. They need a spark right now.
He's got Appleby going to the table. UAB's going to the glass. Out of bounds, Bulldogs basketball. Appleby's back. Speedy Smith as well.
He's Baxter, one of those Philly guards, taking his time, slicing and dicing through the rim. I mean, look at the defense by La Tech. Not characteristic of them. Kaiser back there usually blocks a shot, just going from the top of the key, almost at about a UAB side, and getting all the way to the rim. That shows you right there that the energy level and commitment to defense is not there for La Tech.
They've made a number of subs. McCree's back as well.
UAB's going zone now, just switching up the look, forcing them to shoot jump shots.
McCree never shy about shooting.
McCree says, I got you, coach. And your smart analysis, take that. Great shot right there by McCree.
He's got 9, and that allows Louisiana Tech to dial up its traditional pressure.
It's the only way they can press is they have to score.
Washington swatted by Kaiser. He had been saddled with foul trouble, picked up his 3rd in the infancy of the half. Lays down to the other end. Coakley slapping it away from McCree.
Hamilton's having a hard time finishing. That's 2 point-blank layups, 0-foot shots that he's missed.
Robert Brown, William Lee have returned. The road to the Final Four continues tomorrow night on CBS Sports Network. Ivy League Showdown. Dartmouth takes on Yale, 7 Eastern, right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Yale undefeated in the Ivy. It's the ignition of the Ivy League package here on CBS Sports Network. Dartmouth, a huge win over the preseason favorite, multi-year reigning champion Harvard up in Cambridge.
Talk about the length of UAB. They have made it very hard for La Tech. They've missed about 3 or 4 shots. They're going to watch this film and say, we usually make those, but that shows you how good this UAB defense is.
UAB missing some looks, opening the door.
See, that's what they want you to do, though. That's exactly what La Tech wants you to do. They want to pressure you into taking shots or force a Denzel Watts to shoot a runner so they can get their break going.
It's foul number 2 on Baxter. Nick Norton, point guard, on the bench.
And the one thing about La Tech is people got to understand, they can score in a hurry. They lead the league in scoring. They have snipers out there that can make plays. UAB cannot relax.
Batted loose. Pinballs to Baxter. He's found so many free basketballs.
I mean, he's played a great game tonight. He's not only scoring the basketball, but just, again, hustling and making plays, as you said before.
Jared Hass's team looking for a huge win in Conference USA. They've been a member of this league for 20 seasons. Hard to the rim. Kaiser not allowing William Lee an easy look. A power play for the Bulldogs. McCree. Smith, the hesitant J. Ugly miss. Baxter, another loose basketball.
Smith has William Lee on him. He has to make a play for his teammates. Drive to the rim, force him to guard him. If I'm William Lee, I'm saying, please shoot that shot, Speedy Smith. As they say in sports, it's a reason why you're open.
Timeout called by UAB. The first called timeout by the Blazers this half. There is the head man, Jared Hass. Spent 13 years from scratch. When he defected from UCLA, he had succeeded John Wooden. And when he came to UAB to start the basketball program, he was one of 3 coaches in America to take 2 different teams to the Final Four, Memphis and UCLA.
There's definitely a lot of history, NCAA tournament history. I mean, it's why you know. I mean, I know they're upset that UAB football's gone, but people know UAB because of their basketball program more so than anything else. That's the accomplishment of Gene Barstow and what he meant to this program.
Jared Hass leading a rejuvenation. 4 games over 500 on his now 3-year head coaching career here.
But you got 2 young head coaches who sit in the top of Conference USA. Shows you what this league has potential to be. You're talking about Tim Floyd being in the league. Got a bunch of really good coaches in this league. Don Sadler.
2 good young coaches, 2 good teams in USA at one point.
And then it's why I say that they have an opportunity, because of their history, to be a Gonzaga, to be a VCU. It depends on, again, obviously football's not going to come back, but it depends on the level of commitment of the university to making sure that happens, to attract those recruits. Because once they're out of Conference USA, it's going to be a different recruiting pitch to the kids in the country.
Baxter missed the first, hits the second. The plan, if football indeed is dead, you would assume with that much money, it's not just men's basketball, but many other sports that could be infused with a little more coin and perhaps with that achieve a little more success.
Yeah, I agree. And I think 2 good leagues I can see for UAB, maybe the Atlantic 10, maybe the Missouri Valley, with their history. Would be good landing spots for them.
You saw the shooting percentage there, 36% for Louisiana Tech. Just 7 of 27 of this half. Only twice all year have the Bulldogs shot under 40%. They're 1-1 in those games.
They just haven't been themselves. I've seen La Tech play a lot of times. This is by far not their best performance, and they got to pick it up with 6 and some change to go if they want to turn this game. They're still only down by 8. As poorly as they played, down by 8, the way they can score with Appleby and Hamilton and Smith out there, they still can change this game.
But you touched on it. Something we've seen from the early stage of this game. Body language has not been brilliant. Lightning quick foul after Appleby had picked up one. It's Speedy Smith who gets his second. It just feels like there's a bit of divisiveness tonight.
Yeah, and I'm sure Coach Whitehill will address it. He'll just show them, you know, it's a TV game. We'll show every little angle. Everybody's questioning every call. You know, they're screaming at each other. Can't win that way. You're on the road in a difficult environment. Everybody's got to be together. Not that they're not together, but again, this is not vintage Latte basketball.
Bulldogs so good at home where they've won 43 of 44. They're only a game over 500 on the road. And Chris Coakley, who had 11 the last time these teams met, won Freshman of the Week honors, showing man strength. Coakley tapped it in stride. It's Watts. Lee stumbled in the other end. Watts squirts free. Last touch to Louisiana Tech. Friendly fire between Smith and Kaiser.
There's some athletes on that floor for sure. They're running back and forth. It was against no help defense and toughness. And he has a bunch of young players who's trying to fuse them and have the same type of enthusiasm and same type of confidence that they had last year. And it's been a little bit challenging for them. And you can see today they're kind of unraveling a little bit. But he'll get them going again. Definitely see how this game ends, because this game's certainly not over.
Take it home, Coakley.
I mean, Chris Coakley, I mean, I can't say enough about the freshman. So talented. He and William Lee, they're two big-time recruits from Alabama.
This is UAB's largest lead of the game. Hamilton, foul. The blocking call came. Denzel Watts is first.
Yeah, he looked
just outside of the top 25 in America in free throw attempts. These are his first free throws tonight. That's normally a huge part of his game. Hamilton with 9. Time ticking, though, on this Bulldog team. That's a huge miss as we approach the 5-minute mark with the first-place Bulldogs down double digits.
They really have to start going up and going at him and picking up the pressure and creating some offense with their defense. But plenty of time. Again, the three-point shot in college basketball and the way these guys can score offensively, they can still make a run.
Coakley's been on fire. Reversal. Brown lying in wait. Bang!
Just great offense by UAB. Coakley throwing into the post. He got double teamed, kicked it back out, a skip pass, playing together is why UAB has this lead.
The Bulldogs have not made a basket from the field in over 5 minutes. Mike White has employed everything. He's gone as deep as he has in a taut game in a long time. He's called all but 2 timeouts.
That's what playing on the road is. You play on the road in a tough environment against a tough opponent.
Number 3 on Speedy Smith. That body language tells it all. Hands on his hips.
Look at the ball movement. Skip it from one side of the floor to the other. William Lee hits Norton, throws in the post. They try to trap and see that skip pass. Hamilton, he saw it coming, but it was too late because the ball moves faster than you. That's why you teach these young players about moving the basketball. It's a lost art. Passing is a lost art. Everybody wants to dribble.
Xavier Stapleton back in. Merle Holden as well. A blow for Hamilton and Kaiser. 19 seconds before dead ball means immediate. That's their last chance to rest down the stretch. Deep look for Norton. Oh my! Nick Norton! A huge bucket from distance.
UAB is playing very good offensively. They have done that the last couple games, and they're doing it tonight against a very good opponent. Latex obviously hasn't rung it like they usually bring it, but they are on the road. UAB's a good team, son. They got a chance to win this league.
Coakley wanted that ball, gets the seal, puts it in. A 23-8 run for the Blazers.
Unbelievable. That's my guy, Coakley. He's so talented as a freshman.
The rim denies Holden. The roof might fly off of Bartow Arena.
It's just what kind of night it's been. It's been that kind of night for La Tech.
Norton wide open. The wheels have come off for Louisiana Tech, and the Blazers are on fire.
came prepared. He's at home. He's more comfortable. Fought through a couple early turnovers. Make a difference for his team now.
16 points, and the Bulldogs turn it over out of the timeout. Timeout on the floor, 2:58 to go. UAB looking for one of its, have been pulling away up 20 on Thursday night tip-off presented by Buick. UAB with 5 men in double figures, shooting 52% from the field in the second half. Bulldogs have tried everything. They're down to one timeout. They're down 20 points. A travel gives the Bulldogs the ball. We're at Bartow Arena, downtown Birmingham, Alabama. John Sadak, former Texas Tech head man Chris Walker, and our CBS Sports Network crew. Jared Haas and his Blazers. What a performance tonight.
I mean, they've played absolutely great. I mean, he's done a great job of. I worked for a coach. He used to always say that your only goal is to be the best team you can be by the end of the season, John. They started off haplessly. I mean, just losing games, played a little bit of a tough schedule, and they have turned it around with their defensive effort, and they've bought in to what Coach Haas is selling.
Janiah White called for the foul on that screen look, his first. 4-9 in non-conference. Played 4 ranked teams in that time. Had to face UCLA. Had to face North Carolina. Had to face Florida. Had to face Wisconsin. But in Conference USA, only 2 setbacks, both on the road, to the preseason top 2 teams in the league. These Bulldogs and UTEP.
When you talk about scheduling, maybe that's what helped them get to where they are now, playing that tough competition. So you never know how it's going to work. And this is the 3rd youngest team in the country. So how about that? Talk about the job that coach has done.
Rejection by White. Davis asks for the ball. Flies to the rim. And rolls it down.
Kedar Davis been out with an injury. He's that physical presence that they've been missing. He's been out that they need against teams like UAB.
Keep in mind, the meat of the Bulldog lineup is not on the floor. Mike White has basically raised the white flag out of the media timeout.
I mean, send a message to your team that this game is over. They got no chance of winning this game. Go back, regroup. Got another game coming up in a couple days.
The Bulldogs' worst loss of the season was by a dozen to Louisiana Lafayette, 96-84. The pace not pretty currently. Let's take a look at our Buick player of the game, Hakeem Baxter. A career high, 10 rebounds tonight. 15 points, 10 rebounds, 7 of 9 at the stripe for the transfer out of UMES.
I mean, again, we talked about a transfer coming in, providing a lift like that. 10 rebounds, especially. Showing it at national TV, showing his people back in Philly. They got to be very happy for him. Played a great game tonight against a really good opponent.
He was a MEAC all-rookie performer last year. Now he's one of the young rising stars in Conference USA. Stepped up the competition, has stepped up his play.
All those Big 5 schools are saying, how do we let this guy get out of Philadelphia? Tremendous game by him tonight.
Deion Griffin. Wide open look. Stapleton.
Tech's got to regroup, John. They got to regroup. Got another game coming, a conference game, a couple days. Got to get their minds right. Body language wasn't what we're accustomed to seeing from a Mike White team.
Well, the Bulldogs will have 5 of their last 7 at home. The Blazers, they have last place Southern Miss coming up on Saturday afternoon. Red hot Blazers team as Lewis Sullivan picks up his first.
So funny about coaches. They know their teams. We get to spend a little bit of time with them. And he said it. He said, my team is missing that leadership of those older guys from last year. And we see it unfold right in front of us. He knows exactly what he's looking at.
Griffin missed the banker. Emblematic of the day in many ways. An accidental stride out of bounds by Watts. Bulldogs get the basketball back, but the despondent bench body language tells a tale.
Yeah, they're not accustomed to being in this position. These guys usually win. And again, that's what happens. It's why you play the game. UAB lost in Ruston, came back here and took care of business today. Great crowd, great support from the fan base. Coach has his program moving in the right direction, John.
What a turnaround for UAB. The horn hits. Jared Haas, Mike White.